welcome to Two's Company. My guest today was born in Singapore, but spent most of her childhood travelling with her army family. She finally settled in the UK, where she worked for a company that made gloves for Queen Elizabeth II and James Bond. After moving to Cambusole permanently 5 years ago, she took a job at Coast to Coast magazine, which she now owns. Keeping me company today is Anne Marie Greatley. Hi Anne Marie, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
No problem at all. Now I know we're all very eager to find out about the Queen's gloves. However, what is the story behind you being born in Singapore?
Okay, well my grandfather was in the Welsh Army, and so was based out in the RAF in Singapore.
All right.
My birth mother was obviously there with her father, and so I was born there, and then adopted.
You were adopted?
I was, yes,
Okay.
I was adopted by an army family.
Oh,
so
right, okay.
It was from my grandparents were in the RAF, but my parents, adopted parents, were in the army.
Through the army, okay.
Yeah.
And so did you travel much with your army family?
We travelled a little bit. I mean, I didn't stay in Singapore for very long.
Okay.
I was only there for a couple of months. I was very, very young,
You don't
very baby,
remember
so I
it,
don't
no.
remember that at all. And then we moved to Germany for a couple of years, and then we basically went back to the UK and just stayed in a couple of places like Middle Wallet and Boscombe Downs. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Right.
so I haven't travelled very much, but.
Right, okay. And when you were in England, so you moved to Wiltshire.
Yep.
Is that before or after you were married?
That was before I was married. Actually, along with the adoption, I was actually put into care. So,
Okay.
and one of the care families that I was with was in Wiltshire.
Okay.
So I ended up staying in Wiltshire, and
Right.
that's when I met. I've actually been married twice, but my second husband, Rob, I met in Wiltshire.
Right, okay. And you then went to work for a company after doing, you said factory works and
Yeah.
such like, and you worked your way up through
Yeah.
the office administration.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And so, so you went to work for a company called Dents.
Yes.
And what is that company?
It's a glove manufacturer. They've been going for hundreds of years. Starting off as a very small company making gloves, but they actually had the factory, and in Wiltshire they have a factory in the warehouse where they made and sold the gloves.
Right.
They were actually commissioned to make the gloves for the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II in 1953.
Wow.
Actually displayed, or one of the gloves is actually displayed they've got a museum at where they're based.
Right.
It's actually in the museum.
They're in the
so it's
museum.
part of their heritage as such.
Wow, that's a good claim to fame.
One of them.
So what sort of gloves did they make, other than
It
the
was.
Queen?
It was. They made a lot of leather gloves and just a whole. But they were handmade.
All handmade.
Whole handmade.
Right.
And so they were specialised. They're specialised gloves and everything else. Sold to all over the world.
Right.
To famous people
And what was your role within the company?
I was actually what they call a returns administrator. So I had all the gloves that came back to and supplying credit notes and things like
Okay.
that. So it was sort of like, I was sort of like doing. I had a very big job in the company doing that. So
Okay.
I started off with that.
And did anyone from the company actually meet the Queen when they were provided with gloves?
We didn't meet. No, we never met the Queen. No, but we did have. She is now Queen Camilla, but we did have Camilla come and visit us, the factory, and so we met her.
Did
so,
you?
Yes.
Oh,
she's a lovely
fabulous.
lady. I know a lot of people didn't like her at the time, but she's an absolutely fabulous lady. She talked to everybody and was really, really nice.
Oh, brilliant, lovely.
Yeah.
Did you got to meet her? Did you?
Just to say hello. And
Yeah.
Just a bit of a handshake, but nothing major.
Did she have the gloves on at the time?
She had gloves at the time, yes, because they also supply gloves for the royal family in the different outings that they go to. So
Okay.
yeah, so.
Brilliant. And you also made gloves for
For the
007.
film. We did, yes. Unfortunately, we never get to meet Daniel Craig.
Okay.
But yes, they made the gloves for Skyfall to start with.
Right.
And then Daniel Craig himself wanted another glove made for the next film, so which was Spectre. So they actually made Spectre gloves and Skyfall gloves. So,
right.
and we sold hundreds of them. Yes.
What sort of gloves were they?
They were like a leather, just a leather man's glove.
Right.
And it was
ones you
quite
wear
a soft,
driving the
with the
car
driving the car and everything else.
Yeah.
I think in one part of the film you actually see him driving with them. So
With the gloves on.
yes. So
Brilliant.
but I never got to meet him, which is
a bit of a shame.
It was a big shame, really. But no, never mind.
No, oh well. So why did you decide to leave the Dents company?
To move here.
And what made you decide to move here?
Right, okay. It's a bit of a long story. We were looking at a holiday home, to have a holiday home somewhere. My husband wanted to move to France, but I didn't like France. So I said, why don't we look at Spain? And so he went on the internet searching, and he was looking at different areas, and he found obviously Camposol, and he said, oh, these look all right.
Yeah.
So him and my son, our son, came out for a trip for 3 days, and
Right.
he ended up buying a holiday home.
Did you get to see it before you bought
No,
it?
I didn't. No, only by video link. But we came out here for holiday a couple of months later, and I just got that feeling that we worked so hard at home. It was just sort of like, do you know what? I like it here. I love it here. It was, it was just sort of nice. Could we could we come out here to live, sort of thing? Could we make it work?
Yeah.
And yes, because it was like obviously COVID and everything else, we said, right, okay, no, let's do it. So we put the house on the market, sold that within 2 weeks, and then everything went from there.
Meant to be then.
It was meant to be, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And I haven't regretted it.
Good. And so, were you working? Did you need to work when you came over here? Or had you already retired from the
it
UK?
was one of those where we were coming down through France in the car and thinking, what were we going to do?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't one of those. I didn't know what the work situation would be like. I wanted to work. It was just sort of I too young to retire as such. So it was like I wanted to go to work.
Right.
So it was sort of, we said to ourselves that we weren't going to treat this as a holiday, we were going to go and find work. So it was a thing about just going to find something out there to do.
Okay.
Rob was quite easy. He managed to get key holding, so he had his key holding business, so he managed to get that to work for him.
Okay.
And he does a lot with the golf club, so that's why he's a big TV star.
Because
he does the tea times
with
Hayley. Yeah,
tea-time show. That's right.
So yeah, it was just a case of trying to find something to do.
Right. Okay.
Basically.
Okay, so how soon after you moved here did you decide to try and take on work, or did you have a time off? And
No, it was basically we were trying to do things with the house, getting the house ready to live in more than
Yes,
anything,
yeah.
as we wanted it. And then it was just a case I literally wanted to do anything. It didn't matter what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And so I put as you do on Facebook, is there any jobs around and everything else?
Yeah.
And the owners of the magazine at the time said, yes, we've got some sales jobs. Never done sales as such in my life. So it was
Okay.
sort of like, can I do this? And yeah, I started off doing some of the sales and that for them.
So that's Coast to Coast
Coast to
magazine.
Coast magazine, yeah.
Right. And what is Coast to Coast magazine?
It's basically a lifestyle magazine. It's a free magazine that you can just pick up in different places. On Camposol, we do Camposol, we do Matterhorn, we do a load of areas all the way down to Almeria, down to Mahaka.
So people can pick them up in
Pick 'em in,
Consum?
No,
or-
they can't do in Consum at the minute, but places like all around the restaurants and the estate agents on Camposol, down the port, you can pick them up from the food company.
Right.
So they're distributed in lots of different places. It's just a case of where you can find one.
And what sort of articles do you have in your Coast to Coast
Right, okay, well, we
magazine?
do a lot of editorials. We try and do a lot of up-to-date editorials. We do have contributors that do a few, like health and beauty, but we try to keep things. I mean, in last month's magazine, we did like the Immaculate Conception Day. We write about that, and
Okay.
so I do editorials on like the month, or it's just sort of like just putting bits in
Seasonal.
there, just something that I think would be interesting to other people, so that people would like to just pick up and read.
Okay. And who is it aimed towards?
Everybody. I think there's a thing for everybody. I mean, there's a puzzle page. There's a star sign page. There's, you know, so it's aimed at everybody really. Whoever wants to just pick it up and read it. To be quite honest with you.
And is it in English and Spanish?
No, it's
or
just
is it
in English. It's just in English.
Right. Okay.
And we do have a few Spanish companies that advertise with us, but it's mainly an English-based magazine.
Okay. So you were in sales, and what did that involve?
It's just asking people to advertise, basically, and just trying to get people into the magazine and to advertise, basically.
Okay, and what sort of companies like to advertise?
We've got quite a few that have actually been with us for a good, well, we've been in circulation for, this will be our 7th year.
Okay.
So, and we've got companies that have actually been with us all through those times. And we have odd ones that come in every now and again. Some don't come in for winter, some come in during the summer. It's just, it's just, but it's aimed at everybody that wants to. We have estate agents. We have, I'm just trying to think who else it is. It's just restaurants and window fitters and different plumbers. Yeah, it's just different.
Just anybody that people might have to get hold of, or does it have entertainments? Does it show local places?
No, we don't do that at the moment. It's just something that we haven't really sort of like got into at the moment. So, but it's just
So you say it's been running for 7 years. So you started fairly early on with the company.
I think it had been going 2 years. Yeah, about 2 years before I started there.
Okay.
So I've been with it for the last 4 years.
Okay. And you're now the owner of it?
I am, yes.
What's that story?
I had an opportunity at the end of last year to take over the magazine.
Okay.
And it was something that I wanted to do. I enjoyed doing it, even though I hadn't really had any training. Towards the end of the previous owner's reign, it was sort of, I was doing most of it. I was doing the layouts and the editorials and everything else.
Okay.
So it was just something that I need. A natural progression to actually
to
do it.
On to that.
And it was keeping me in a job, and it was just something I enjoyed doing. So yes.
And so, is it just yourself, or are there other people on the team?
I've got a couple of other people on the team.
Okay.
I've got a lady called Eva, and I think a lot of people will know Eva, but she's such a lovely lady, and she's been a godsend. She helps me through a lot. And then I've got a lady that works for me down in Mahaka, just trying to get sales down for Mahaka Jane. So she's getting the advertising in. Yeah. So it's only a small company, but we try and provide a lot.
Right. Okay. And so funding the magazine, is that purely through the advertising?
It's purely through the advertising. Yes.
Okay. So how do people get in touch with you, other than obviously the lady going down and actually doing the sales?
Right. Okay. Well, they can contact her. There's all the information in the magazine. We've got a Facebook page as well. Yes. Okay. Coast to Coast Lifestyle Magazine.
Okay.
So just contact us on that, or email Coast to Coast Lifestyle Magazine.
Right.
At gmail.com. Sorry.
Yeah. So anybody can contact you?
Yes.
Doesn't matter
doesn't matter. Yeah. I mean, it could be a small company. I mean, we've had a couple of really small companies just come in. They can do different size adverts, so it's really up to them what they put in and how much they want to spend. Okay. We do try and do special deals as well, so that they can get.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just going back to obviously your family, do they come over and see you?
Well, we've got this is my second marriage. So we've got children from previous marriages as such. Rob's older son, he comes over. He's bought a house over here, so he comes over with his son and 2 daughters.
Okay.
And then my children, they have been over. They haven't come over recently. Oh, my son has. He came over at the beginning of the year, but my daughter hasn't. And then the rest of the family come over when. So
do they all pile into your house, or
no? We rent hire other houses so they can have their time for themselves. And
so they can keep.
Yeah, we can keep their distance. But I do miss them. But it's nice to see them when they're over.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. It's been a real pleasure talking to you.
Thank
Very
you.
interesting. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for watching today. And I hope you enjoyed the show. That's all we have time for this week, and we hope you can join us next week when we'll be in someone else's company. Thank you very much.